From the outer edge of the third, smoke bellowed around 87, whose thoughts broke momentarily from Grace as his hose spluttered, water tank empty. He watched pressure on the dial plummet, thoughts burning over Hobbs. Asshole! Chucking it aside, he turned his attention to the panel controlling the C's doors to free those inside. Flames licked at his skin as 87 worked on the panel. What's going on in there? 106 radioed through as an explosion rang out, shaking the building as it threw him through flames, collapsing a support beam in the process. Tumbling over crates, he slumped. 87, you there? Having a blast. He winced, pulling out the pathetic excuse of a firearm Hobbs had issued for their patrol. You got eyes on them? 87 struggled to his feet, frustration getting the better of him as he rooted through Mobius to see exactly why Hobbs had switched up their gear. No, but I will. You're out of time, you hear me? 106 barked from behind her visor, staring up at the flaming building from an adjacent street. Get out. Wait for backup and our equipment. 87? 80? What? T can't hear you. 87 finished, muting his mic, firing a quick succession of strategically placed shots with the pathetic pistol they'd been assigned for patrol. He charged at the oncoming wall. Smashing through and tumbling over rubble, he stumbled up on his feet, to the shock of those who'd been trapped inside. The lady he approached screamed, backing up in horror as he offered his outstretched, bloodied hand. Blistered skin having succumbed to the heat, it sagged over his broken wrist. I hear looks don't matter much. He offered with a wicked grin before turning to the others. Organics. Make your way through the only exit, here, here, and here. He pointed time and time again to the hole he'd punched through the wall, using his other hand to prop up the broken finger that flopped down. Emerging from smoke, dust, and rubble, he returned them to the sidewalk and crowd of onlookers before rejoining the rest of his team, who continued evacuating surrounding buildings. You look like hell. 106 scoffed, chucking a stem C rinse his way with a wry smile. Though his hands had already begun to crisp up and heal, the reflex to catch it cracked them wide open, much to her amusement. I think you enjoyed that. Just a little, she conceded. Those samples far exceed their organic counterparts, regenerating in hours as opposed to weeks, months, or even years. Stem C kits further accelerate the process. The incessant pain made him all the more glad for it. Ripping open the bag and rubbing in the blue gel, he threw her a wink. I'm all for efficiency. I'm aware, she ground out, somewhat bitter. Where's the water, the reserves? Her eyes rolled over to the first. Where do you think? When they pump more through, wet it down, till glazing's finished this side of the third, reserves stay full. Hobbs won't like it. 87's jaw firmed watching Inter's glass castle. Leave him to me. Asterisk. Grace rubbed her brow, annoyed by 87's sudden silence. He had a habit of disappearing mid-conversation. How does that have anything to do with space? She'd wondered on alone, only for him to resurface sometime later. 87 gave his usual charming smile. He'd come to enjoy conversations with this organic and often indulged in them during whatever mundane tasks Inter had set. Initially, he'd found her pitifully curious at best. Nevertheless, she'd begun to seem as precious as she were pitiful, if she were in fact who he suspected her to be.